In this video, we're going to answer the question, what is tech sales? The reason I wanted to make this video is because there's a lot of hype and buzz around tech sales. There's a lot of rumors and anecdotal evidence about how you can make a ton of money in tech sales. And while some of that is definitely true, I think some people start to get interested in tech sales before even really knowing what it is. They're just excited about it because of all the hype around it. So my goal with this video is to hopefully clearly explain what tech sales really is, so that especially if you're interested in getting into tech sales, you can watch this video and kind of understand, that's what it is. This is how it relates to my experience, or maybe I'm not interested in that. So the screen we're looking at right now is breaking down the information technology sector in the US economy with all the industries in that sector. We're actually going to get into this a little bit later. Where I want to start is just on Google. Let's just ask Google this question that we're asking ourselves to see what some of the information that's already out there says. So let's see, the top result here is from Zendesk. Tech sales is the process of selling technology as software, hardware, or an IT service. That's pretty much it. Tech sales is the process of selling technology. Now, it limits the types of technology to software, hardware, or an IT service. I think there are technologies maybe outside of those three categories, but generally this is a pretty good definition. Built in, tech sales usually involve selling software as a service, SaaS, to other businesses. So this is a very limiting definition of tech sales. It limits tech sales to only selling software and specifically SaaS. So while that is probably the biggest category of tech sales, that is not the only thing that tech sales can be. But they're probably saying that because when most people think about tech sales, selling software is probably the most popular form of tech sales. And according to Indeed, tech sales is the act of connecting customers with technology that can provide a solution. Yeah, so basically just selling technology. So I think you kind of get the idea. So in general, my personal definition of tech sales is it's selling tech. That's it. It's not complicated. Tech sales is exactly what it sounds like. It's just selling tech. Now, where I think it's helpful to give more clarification is, what do we mean by tech? Obviously, tech is everywhere nowadays. You have your phone, you have your computer, there's wearables. We use technology everywhere. So what do we mean by tech when we talk about tech sales? So to get more into that definition, first, let's look at what's called the Global Industry Classification Standard. I know that sounds complex, but it's really not. This is just the framework that is used to break down the different types of companies in the economy. And so in this classification framework, there are 11 sectors. Hopefully the type is big enough where you can read that here. So I don't need to read all of these, but you've got sectors like energy, consumer, healthcare, financials, information technology, utilities, real estate. A lot of these sectors you probably have already heard of. Information technology, that is the sector we are concerned with. That is what we're talking about when we talk about tech. And if you follow this classification standard down to the more broken down levels, you can see that there are industry groups, and then there are industries, and then there are sub-industries. So within each of these very large 11 sectors in the economy, there are smaller classifications. But this already is helpful in terms of how we think about tech. Tech is one of the 11 sectors in the economy according to this framework. So let's go a little bit deeper on that. So now we're on the Fidelity website looking at their research, and we're looking at sectors right here. So what we're looking at is those 11 sectors that we just saw on the other page, but now we're going to get a lot more information about it. And the first thing, or about these sectors, the first thing I want to point out is the size of the sectors. So you can see we've got communication services, consumer, industrials, healthcare. Communication has a market cap of 4.83 trillion. And by the way, market cap is just the sum of the market cap of all the stocks in this sector. And market cap is just the total value of all the shares of that stock. So if you multiplied the number of shares by the price of each share, you would get the market cap. And so it's just a basic way to value a whole sector. Consumer discretionary is bigger than communication services with a little over 7. Here, let me get my marker so that I can circle. Yeah, there you go. So communication services is a little bit on the smaller end, and then consumer staples is a little on the smaller end. Energy, interestingly, is also on the smaller end. Financials is the biggest one so far at 8.88 trillion. Healthcare is pretty close to financials. Industrials is kind of in the middle. And then information technology, 13.92 trillion market cap. So you've got like communication services, for example, like tech is what is like a little less than 3 times the size of communication services. And even financials, which is it looks like second largest sector, information technology is almost twice as large. So the reason I point this out is when we're thinking about the economy, tech is such a big part of the economy nowadays, as evidenced by the market cap here. So let's drill down a little bit further into information technology. When we click this drop down, we see this additional information that Fidelity provides. I guess the most important thing here is just looking at the industries within this sector. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 industries within the information technology sector. Let me get my marker again. And they are communications equipment, electronic equipment, instrument and components, IT services, semiconductor and semiconductor equipment, software, and then technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals. So earlier, when we were looking at that definition from Zendesk of what is tech sales, and they had those 3 categories of all the tech that you could possibly sell, I think their categories pretty much covered everything, but these are the categories that I would really rely on to exhaustively cover every single type of company that you could possibly have in the information technology sector. And in terms of tech sales, you could really be selling any of these types of technology. Now, the other thing we noticed from the Google search results was that some results mentioned software or SaaS being the main thing that tech salespeople sell. And you can see that that is an industry in the information technology sector, is software. And if you're not familiar with SaaS, it just stands for software as a service. You can Google that to learn more about SaaS, but it would definitely fall within, this software industry in this sector. And if we look over, I guess we can't see the market cap breakdown of each of these industries. I have looked at this before, and I am almost certain that, maybe if we scroll down here, market weight. No, that's just the market weight of the that's the market weight of the information technology sector compared to the other sectors. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the market cap of each industry in the sector, but I have looked at it before, and I'm almost certain that software is the largest. Don't quote me at that because we don't have the data right in front of us, but I'm almost certain that software is the largest industry in this sector. And then something else interesting to look at in the data that we do have in front of us, look at the growth of the information technology sector over the past 10 years. Over 500%. And a lot of that has been contributed by semiconductors, software, and then technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals is the largest. I'm actually not even completely sure what that is. I want to look more into that now because that growth over 10 years is crazy. But when you think about why would you want to get into tech sales and what is the advantage of being in tech sales, it is simply the largest and one of the fastest growing industries on the planet. So being a salesperson who is responsible for selling those products, whether it's the software or the hardware or the IT services, you are, and then benefiting from the commission that you make on those sales, it is just one of the best opportunities for a salesperson in modern times, which is why there's all this hype around tech sales, because it's simply being one of the most important business professionals in one of the largest and growing industries, the largest and fastest growing industries on the planet. And that's what we're seeing kind of in this data in terms of the size of the information technology sector and the growth rate of some of these industries within the sector. The last thing we'll look at is drilling all the way down. So we've done the sector and we've done the industries. Now let's drill down into the specific companies within each industry within the information technology sector. And this is actually a strategy you can use to find companies to apply to. I'll actually probably make a separate video just about this, about how to use a stock screener to find tech companies to apply to. And right now we're using the Yahoo Finance stock screener. Let me make this a little bigger just in case you can't see. But there are plenty of free stock screeners available online. So if you can just Google stock screener, I would recommend using the Yahoo Finance stock screener. And then when we click on the sectors, you can see that here are the, I think 11 here. Yeah, 11 sectors that we already looked at on the previous page. And then now we can break it down into industries. Now there are more than 6 industries shown here. It looks like, for example, they split up software into 2, and then they include solar, which is not one of the ones in the classification system we were looking at before. But you can still get a general idea of the companies in certain industries within the information technology sector. First, let's start with software. I think this is, as the results in Google pointed out, this is one of the biggest categories in tech sales. So let's look at infrastructure software first, and we're going to click Find Stocks, and it's going to generate us a list of stocks that are in the infrastructure software category. You can make sure you sort by market cap in descending order. It looks like we're already sorted by market cap. And right away, you can see some software companies that you already recognize. Obviously, Microsoft has had a massive boom recently, I think mostly because of AI. Their market cap is at like $2.5 trillion, which is crazy. And then, Oracle is an older company, Adobe, Palo Alto Networks. I won't go through every single one of these, but a lot of these companies have tech sales positions. Cloudflare definitely does. MongoDB definitely does. CrowdStrike, VMware, Palo Alto Networks, definitely Adobe. Oracle is like one of the original tech sales organizations. Microsoft definitely does. So this would be a really good place to look at companies and how they're performing in the software category of the information technology sector in order to determine which companies you want to apply to in order to break into tech sales. And it looks like there are looks like 25. Oh no, that's just 25 rows per. Yeah, so 252 results. So you have plenty of companies to apply for here. Let's just do one more search. How do we? I don't see where find stocks. Add another filter. Weird. The filter is looking weird. Let me try to refresh the page. This doesn't make any sense. Here, I'll just take out part of the URL so that we go back to the original screener. Okay, cool. So we're creating a new screener, equity screener, technology, and industry. So I'm just curious about, I think we did software infrastructure before. Let's do software application next. So now, again, a lot of these companies definitely have really good tech sales roles. Salesforce is the original tech sales company. There's probably not a better tech sales company you can get on your resume than Salesforce. And they're the largest company in this category we're looking at. All of these I know have tech sales positions. SAP, Intuit, ServiceNow, Uber, Shopify. I don't know about Cadence. Snowflake definitely does. I don't know about this company. It looks like it's non-US. Workday definitely does. Autodesk, I should know, but I don't know. Atlassian for sure. Datadog for sure. So I know this video is supposed to be mostly about what is tech sales. Hopefully we answered that question. And if you are interested in getting into tech sales, hopefully you also now see this strategy that you can use to find the best and biggest companies in the tech industry, or within the software industry of the tech sector, to apply to. If you are interested in getting into tech sales, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is pretty much all that we talk about in these videos. It's all about tech sales, and it's specifically about getting a job in tech sales, whether that's interview prep, application strategies, how to find certain jobs. We even talk a little bit about how to be successful in the beginning of your tech sales career. So hopefully this video was helpful. Definitely subscribe, and we'll see you later.